So hello Kevin and all the Extra Mile podcast group listeners. This is the running jackal doing what he likes best, and that is running on the trails on Mount Doug and climbing over boulders. Alright. Today is, as you can see, beautiful and sunny, and I'm in the shade of the forest behind Mount Doug. Very eventful few days we've had, what with Jim and the Vermont City Marathon. Shame about the heat conditions. They let people finish for 4 hours before they pulled the plug on the race. They could have kept it going for 5 hours, and then most everybody would have been finished. And they could have had an early start for the slower competitors and the walkers. That's what I say. Most good marathons would have an early start option for those planning to take over 6 hours to finish. It's always a good option for the slower runner because they're in a much smaller group of runners, for one, and for two, they finish earlier. They will see the Kenyans come by them, even if they start an hour ahead of the main group.
Workout average pace, 9 minutes, 36 seconds per kilometer.
This trail is beside a farmer's field, and he quite often has sheep in that field, but not at the moment. The grass is way too long. He might be cutting that later for silage. Anyway, enough of this. I will say goodbye to you, Kevin, and wish all the Extra Mile listeners a great June. So from Mount Doug, this is the Running Jackal signing off. This is the dappled sunlight that really confuses me at times. I end up tripping over what I thought was a shadow, which was in fact a rock. I haven't tripped yet, touch wood. Trying to keep the camera as steady as possible. There will be more up and down movement than when I use the shtick, but there'll be less of that wiggling on the side of the frames, which I seem to get when I use the shtick. Anyway, enough is enough. I'm taking a slightly different route today from the usual one because I want the run to last about an hour and 15 minutes, and I want to end at the food market. This is an old tree stump. This tree blew over a few years ago. This, believe it or not, is one of the more runnable trails on Mount Doug, because it is round the perimeter, hence the farmer's field. But now I'm heading in, so it'll be up to Whitaker. Into the sun, turn the camera. So hello David, congratulations on finishing what you set out to finish, 50 hot miles. I was appalled when I saw the route that you had to run. If I'm not mistaken, there was a 5k and then 3 loops of 25k, which would have been by lap 2 well and truly imprinted in your memory. But there were also a fair number of competitors to follow, and as you say, you spent a good long time chatting with your fellow athletes. That is good. That is what most of the ultra trail running is about. It's about running when you can and conserving energy when you can't run. But you're still moving. You spent 9 hours moving. Think of 24 to 30 hours of moving, which would be the time you could expect to be out there on a 100-mile race. Alright, so not wanting to make this into a huge... Okay, so going that way would take me up Little Mount Doug. Going this way takes me up to the saddle.
Time, 30 minutes, 40 seconds. Distance, 3 kilometers. Workout average pace, 10 minutes, 13 seconds per kilometer.
It's always faster going down, even though there are some slower sections. Mostly it'll be non-stop running from just around here. When I turn the next corner, I'll be at the saddle. These 2 rocks. And then this enchanting trail takes me down into the glory zone by the Cougar Cave. These hard shadows. I'm going easy today and remembering to pick up my feet. I'm wearing my pure grit trail shoes. As I head down into the glory zone. is a little steep for a full tilt booty, especially seeing as if you trip, you will fly through the air. Oop. You see what I mean? It's coming up on the Cougar Cave. It's right in there. It's just about big enough for a kid to crawl into. So the next little bit of footage will be the Feltham Trail. This is Bow Park, and this is the route leading to the Feltham Trail, which is about 1 kilometre long, and which will put me out at the supermarket where I have to buy a few items. You're looking at me because otherwise you'll be looking directly into the sun. Pointed behind me, this is where the Feltham Trail starts. Just about here, into the shade. I've managed to increase my pace a little bit since I passed the Cougar Cave. That one goes to the duck pond. This one goes to the supermarket. So this recording will be at the end of 3, maybe 4 video clips that I took. I will edit for brevity, and that will probably save all the dialogue. Yet another branch to confuse the out-of-town people. Once again into the sun. It's quite often a woodpecker here that I have recorded in the past. Yet another branch of the Feltham Trail. Into the sun and out of the park. This is the running jackal early in the week, signing off.